Welcome to today's Bible study. As we continue through the book of Job, we see that Job's incredible suffering, his loss, his lament. In Job 3, he poured out his anguish, questioning why he was born. But now, in Job 4, his silence is broken, not by God, but one of Job's friends, Eliphaz. He's the first one to speak. He steps forward with the sounds of like wisdom, but is it? He explores the chapter together to uncover the dangers of speaking without true understanding. For 7 days, Job's friends sat in silence, witnessed his suffering, but after hearing Job's lament, Eliphaz can't stay quiet anymore. He believes that he has the answer for Job's pain. If someone ventures in the word, will you be impatient? But who can keep from speaking? Eliphaz begins gently reminding Job of his past goodness. Think how you have instructed many. How have you strengthened the feeble hands? Your words have supported those who stumble. You have strengthened falter knees. In other words, Job, you have always been to help others in their suffering. Now look at you. In the beginning of what seems like encouragement, but soon Eliphaz's words turns different. Consider now, who, being innocent, has ever perished? Where were the upright ever destroyed? Eliphaz is suggesting something dangerous. Job's suffering doesn't just happen without cause. It must have been something wrong. He speaks of a vision he had, a mysterious whisper in the night that convinced him a great truth. Can the moral be righteous than God? Can even the strong man be more pure than the Maker? His message is clear. Job, no one is truly innocent. Maybe your suffering is God's correction. Eliphaz believes that his suffering offering wisdom, but in reality his offering is something much heavier, a cushioning burden of false understanding. Eliphaz mistakes the problem with an easy answer. At first, Eliphaz's words seems wise. He speaks of God's greatness, of reality that no one is perfect. But his mistake is assuming that Job's suffering must be a result of hidden sin. This is the danger of speaking without understanding. Eliphaz assumes he knows why Job is suffering. He assumes that the pain is always a result of wrongdoing. But we, the readers, know something Eliphaz doesn't. Job's suffering was not a punishment, it was a test. God himself had declared Job righteousness. Eliphaz represents the way that people often respond to suffering. There must be a reason. Maybe it's your fault. Maybe you just have to figure out what to do. You did wrong, and God will fix you. But Job's story teaches us that suffering is not always about sin. It's often something far greater than we can yet see. Job warns us about the dangers of quick judgment and assuming that we understand another person's suffering. Eliphaz thought that he was helping, but instead he was adding to Job's pain. How often do we do the same? How often do we offer answers when what someone really needs is compassion? Sometimes the best way to support suffering is not to explain their pain, but sit with them in it. Job didn't just need a lecture, he needed a friend who would listen. Have you ever been in Eliphaz, quick to offer advice to someone just needing support? Or have you ever felt like Job, misunderstood in your suffering, with people assuming they knew your story when they didn't? Today, let's commit to being better friends, better listeners, better compassionate believers. Instead of explaining suffering, let's walk along those who are hurting, pointing them to God's presence rather than easy answers. If this message speaks to you, share it with someone who needs a reminder that they are not alone in their struggles. Let's be the people to bring comfort and not commendation. You have a blessed, wonderful day. One day at a time, we'll get through the entire book of the Bible. Have a good one.